Next year should be a pretty interesting year with the Olympics coming into the fold. 10-year anniversary of the Pro Breaking Tour, and then the 27th year anniversary of Freestyle Session. So I just feel like if there's a brand that you could trust, it'd be those. Like I feel like anything else, like you'd be kind of like grabbing at the sky and you don't know what you're gonna get. But like with these, like they have history. Just follow us and join us for the ride.
Yo, welcome to the channel CypherBeastT.V. We got a real blessing on the show. We have a legend, a GOAT, originator of Freestyle Session, Pro Breaking Tours, UDEath, and so much more. We got an OG, no other than CrosOne. We'll be going over how to get on the breaking, Freestyle Session, so much knowledge drop. I'm your host, 24/7, and enjoy this episode. Hey, yo, what up, guys? We got an OG. We got a legend in the house. He's been in the game for over 2 decades. He's thrown jams, a massive amount of jams, such as Freestyle Session, Mighty Four, Out for Fame, Undisputed, UDEath, and he helped many, many other jams. We got the GOAT, no other than CrosOne. What's up, man? How you doing?
What's up, man?
Good, good.
I didn't actually throw my before, but
Oh, you didn't? Oh, my bad, my bad.
That was Polsky.
That was Polsky. Okay. Before we kick it off, welcome to the show. I am the host, Tony47, and a little bit about me. I'm out here in Portland, Oregon. I've been breakdancing for about 17 years, like off and on. I won jams, I judge jams, I thrown jams out here in Portland. The context of this new channel and podcast is to explore knowledge, mindset, lessons learned, and most of all, inspire others through your visual lens. CrosOne, welcome.
And thank you for having me.
Yeah, appreciate it so much. And can you tell me a little bit more about like Freestyle Session? Some people call it the Super Bowl of breaking. For those who don't know what Freestyle Session is, can you explain it for the viewers?
So Freestyle Session, people call it the Super Bowl. I like to call it like the Super Bowl, the All-Star game, all rolled up into one. Like you get a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
For it initially started as a breaking event, well, mainly like hip hop event, with the focus on breaking battles, but we still had like at the beginning we had graffiti exhibitions and MC rooms and all kinds of stuff.
Okay.
As the years progressed, we added like the funk room, which ended up being open styles, and eventually now into like 5 different categories now, with whacking, locking, popping, hip hop, and house. And then the breaking room started, kind of breaking down categories there with the over 40 battle, the 3-on-3, which is the main event. We got the B-girl battle, and then now we have the kids battle. So I'm kind of like a chameleon, kind of like moving through, the waves in how the scene progresses, so kind of see things happen and give it a try, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then we scrap it and try something else.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we do a hip hop show. Like this year we did Souls of Mischief. Last year we did Raekwon from the Wu-Tang Clan.
Dope.
Try to give people a little bit of everything. I like my whole basis for the event is to like give the youth and people just the experience that I had growing up with hip hop. Not just breaking, but like hip hop as a whole. So that's kind of what you get when you come to a freestyle session. That's what I try to portray.
Yeah, that was super dope. Like I definitely felt that when I was there kind of, recently, and that's my first time going to any freestyle session. I've been to a UDEath back in 2018. It felt a little different. Silverback Open, yep, in Philly. Yeah. And I was kind of like just getting back into it, into breaking after like I stopped for a while. I got like kids and stuff, and kind of life kind of happens, and so but getting back into it more often, and trying to stay active as much as possible. And going to freestyle, bro, that like I loved it. Like it felt like I've been to like local jams and stuff. It kind of felt like that, but like at scale, like you go
like on steroids.
Yeah, it was so crazy. I was like, oh man, like just trying to adapt everything and just seeing like people that like you see on films and YouTubes and stuff like that. I'm just like, man, like try not to like I try to keep it calm, but I was like, dude, I see like left and right all these really dope B-boys and people that we looked up to back in the past and or now too, so it's like
Yeah, we call it
really
kind of like a
amazing.
family reunion, like for a lot of people that travel around the world, they go to like, Rebel BC ones, they go to, outbreaks, they go to, UK championships, IBE, like all these big events. So like the US one would be like freestyle session where, everybody kind of gets together and sees each other, So,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's so dope. That's so dope.
yeah,
I really like how you guys did the 40 plus battle. Like
yeah.
I think you guys are the first one. I haven't really seen any other
I don't think
spots
we
I've
were the
done it.
first one. I know they used to do a like kind of like an OG or older battle. Like they might have even been 40 up at a pro am like way back, and I think even Crazy Legs entered, and a couple other people entered, Alien S, and yeah, it was cool. But I think the generation of freestyle session coming up in the '90s, I think with
Uh-huh.
all those characters, I call them characters because it's like all the homies, but they're literally like characters, So like
Yeah.
if you get enough of the characters in place, then it just brings the nostalgia back of the early freestyle session videos that everybody kind of grew up on, and then also the new people they get to see as well. So it's a really cool experience.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
most definitely.
yeah,
Cool. A little bit about you. So like I know your name's Chris, right? AKA Cross One.
yeah.
Where are you from and like how did you get into breaking?
I'm from San Diego, California. So right on the border by Mexico.
Oh,
I pretty much grew up. When I first seen breaking for the first time was pretty much like in '83, like when Beat Street and Breaking came out. So I mean, it was so big. Everybody tried it. There wasn't a
yeah.
kid in America that didn't try it back then. So for a good year and a half, I think I was just one of many kids that tried it. And then I kind of kept my moves. I did wrestling and judo, you know,
Okay.
elementary, junior high, all the way into high school, and um, I kept my moves. So then in 92 to 93, I went to like a rave in Los Angeles, and it
Yeah.
was like half hip hop and half like rave. And we went to the hip hop side, and people were breaking. I was like, "Yo, I could still break." So I started breaking, and then the whole drive back home was like 2 hour drive back home, and I was just like, "Yo, like we need to start practicing and caught the bug again."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dope. Dope. How did you get the name Cross One, by the way?
that was my writing name. So when I quit, when I quit breaking the first time around '88, I started like hanging out with writers, like graffiti writers,
Oh, okay.
and
Okay.
I ended up getting my name Cross One, and then it just pretty much stuck after like when Chris Cross came out with Jump, like that
Uh,
song. Everybody called me Chris Cross because my real name is Chris, and then my writing name was Cross. So then it was like, yo, Chris Cross. So
oh, okay.
yeah,
That's dope. That's
yeah,
dope. Yeah. Love it,
yeah.
man. Love it. If you couldn't remember, like, could you take us back from like when you first wanted to throw a jam? What were your thoughts and like mindset on that? If you can remember, right? It's probably many years
I
ago.
remember. So basically, B-Boy Summit came from San Diego. So it was the Zulus and San Diego Zulus and Asia One, Easy Rock, and this girl J Love started it. And around 96, 97, they moved it up to LA. So it kind of left this
Okay.
gaping hole in San Diego. And like, I was active as a B-boy back then. So like I'll go to practice and nobody was at practice. So I was like, dude, what's up with the practice? So like, and then I noticed that whenever somebody would throw an event, like more people would come to practice. So I was like, that's pretty much the basis right there. I even asked like Asia and Easy Rock. I was like, yo, I'm thinking about because we had this rec center where we used to practice,
Uh-huh.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, I'm thinking about doing an event. And they was like, oh, that's cool. We're gonna do it. I was like, in the gym. And
Yeah.
Asia kind of like sparked me like to where I just like wanted to show and prove real hard because she's like, oh yeah, you should do it in this room because it's like the dance room was only fits maybe like 50 to 70 people, if
Uh-huh.
that would be packed. I was like, nah, I'm gonna do it in there. I'm gonna pack that room. So, but anyways, like a couple months before that, even I helped a friend out throwing one of their last jams, and I ended up participating in the door, and then I also entered with some people from Riverside. These guys called the Droogies, and we ended
Okay.
up winning. We ended up winning. We beat the Foot Soldiers, who ended up becoming the Rhythm Bugs. So we beat them. So I ended up winning like a piece of like $500, or I don't know if it was a 500 or $1,000. Then I also
Okay.
got like half the door. So like, after that I was like, oh dude, I can make a little bit of money and have fun in the process. Like, show me. No, I'm gonna do another one. So I ended up doing another
Yeah.
one, and it was initially going to be called The Session, but the there was a club called The Session. So like when we were making the flyer, somebody's like, "Yo, there's already a club called The Session." So I was like, "Oh,
Okay.
shoot." And I was like, "All right, well, I'll just add freestyle to it, freestyle session, because everybody could freestyle session in hip hop, like MCs, DJs, b-boys. So like that was the
Yeah.
basis for the name. So
Yeah, that's super dope.
yeah.
Was that first jam called Session
it
or?
was it was freestyle session one. Yeah.
Okay, and
Yeah.
that's
So we made,
your very first jam.
yeah, other than the one that I helped my friend do.
Oh,
That
wow.
one was called the Secret Wars.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dang. That's awesome. I love it. Like how you got that one name and you stuck to it, you know. Sometimes people
Yeah.
throw other jams and change the name up to something else. And so that's really dope that
Yeah,
that
it worked out. I mean, I credit it to like the time period. It was right in the middle of you know, air flares coming out, and Southern California scene was really off the hook. So, you know, it just it spread like wildfire. I
yeah.
made a video and everybody wanted it because everybody wanted to see the newest moves. And then, with me, like I took the graffiti writer approach. Like I wanted to get up. So I was like, yo, I'm gonna take this video all over the place with me. So at the time my sister had worked for like a airline. So she used to give me a
Uh-huh.
stack of like tickets. Like you could pretty much go standby wherever you want to go. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna go check out some of the biggest events and see, what they do. That's different from what I do. So I went
Oh,
to like pro, I
wow.
went to like pro am. I went to Battle of the Year. I went to B-Boy Park in Japan. I went to so many different events, and just kind of studied.
Yeah, yeah, dope. You kind of took that knowledge, what you kind of learned into how to build up yours better, or evolve it, right?
Yeah, I just kind of took what I don't say I took anything, but I just felt like whatever feeling worked for them, I was like, okay, I'm gonna
Yeah,
adapt it to what I'm doing.
yeah, that's
And
awesome.
sometimes I go to a jam and I didn't think anything was that dope, so I was just like, okay, it's not really that great.
Yeah, isn't it cool? Like amazing. Like sometimes you might not see it in your town, your city, or hometown. So you got to kind of like travel and explore the world, what are other people are doing, and kind of
Yeah,
take little small, or not take, little nuggets and apply it how you can adapt it to your own. But
yeah. I mean, I think that's the biggest. It's the coolest factor in breaking, that there's events all over the world, and you could build your network like that. Just going to them. I mean, look, like you went to LA. I
yeah,
mean, I don't know how many people you really knew there, but I'm sure you left knowing a lot more. So
yeah, I did
do
honestly.
do
The
that do
people.
that a couple do that a couple times a year and see how big your network gets.
Yeah, 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 most
Yeah,
definitely,
yeah,
definitely, and yeah, those jams just it drives me to inspire myself to like do more, be more, in
yeah,
breaking as well, and like how can I apply that to to build up other people in the city and new generations and stuff and help them other people grow. So
yeah,
um, seeing that in my eyes, I'm like, wow, it definitely changed my mindset and perspective and things.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
man.
feel like too. I don't know if you got this going, but freestyle session
Uh-huh.
is so much more than just the battles that you see on the videos.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
being there is the culture. You don't get that aspect when you're watching on the video versus being there in
yeah,
person or live. Yeah.
yeah. It's just a different feeling.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So whoever's watching, highly suggest, if you haven't been to freestyle, I highly suggest going to it.
You know?
Cool,
That's what I tell
cool.
people. If you're gonna go to one event, go to Freestyle Session. Then, it's like traveling around the world in like a 2 day weekend.
Oh yeah, for real. Like it is. It is. Man, it was nuts from prelims to the next day and just more people coming in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think next year too, I might do a 3 day event.
Oh
Thinking
yeah.
about it. Yeah, just
Yeah.
because I feel like with the more because this is the first year that we did that many categories, so I feel like I need an extra day to like do a couple of them, so I don't have to like rush through everything.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Maybe get rid of the kids and the B girls on Friday, and then they could come back on Sunday or Saturday for the finals, and then do the main event and 40 and up on another day, like something like that, just where it's like a little bit more spread out.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, to have that all connected into like 2 days with the all the other categories, that's pretty crazy.
I feel like there's so many events that go on Friday anyway, so it's already like a 3 day event already anyway. It's not really an official 3 day event, but I feel like if we do the 3 days, then it's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Brings up to next question. So did you have any like while you're doing like your jams and stuff, like did you have any challenges going through it? Like I heard a time like moment that you might be able to tell me more about, like about the freestyle session. You had it like on a boat,
Mhm.
which people were going nuts about it. I heard there's a few stories like online and stuff talking about like the cops pulled over the or stopped it because of the city and stuff. But I kind of want to. Are you able to talk about that?
Yeah,
A
yeah.
little more, like kind of what happened and how
So,
did you guys end up getting on a boat?
so basically, we rented the Spruce Goose Dome. Wasn't even going to be in the Queen Mary, but it's Spruce Goose Dome is located in the Queen Mary Park. So we had
Okay.
a friend that actually like was the guy that rented both out, you know. So the city had like 50% stake in the dome, and
Uh-huh.
so basically they said that they made up some bullshit. They just didn't want our event there because I mean,
Uh-huh.
we promoted like really hard, like we have flyers everywhere, but they try to say like we spray painted our flyer on like on the MTS or something or whatever, like the trolley or something. I'm just like, who the
Oh.
hell would do that? Like, and then they said that on because at the time the freestyle session discussion boards were really big, so thousands of people used to get on there daily, and
Yeah.
somebody like made a fake screen name, like saying they're Snoop Dogg or something, and said they're a Crip and they're going to shoot up the place, and
Oh
everybody just kind
yeah.
of laughing because it was kind of like a joke. But
Yeah.
then they literally printed it out, took it to a meeting, and then like brought
Oh.
it up in the meeting, and we're just like, dude, that's a freaking joke. Like you can't take a joke. And
Yeah.
we're like, we
Yeah.
don't take these kind of jokes lightly. And then pretty much they kind of did a sneak one where like basically like the last 30 minutes of Friday night, they basically revoked our permit. So we
Oh
didn't find
man.
out till the next morning on Saturday. And the cops pretty much told us like, hey, you guys don't even have a permit, you got it revoked. And we are just
Oh
like,
dang.
dude, so we were setting up in the park. We had all our vendors in the park. So basically we were open for like an hour or two with just vendors in the park and like a stage,
Yeah.
and nobody really knew what was going on. And I mean, we had like LED, like this is when LED screens weren't even really a thing, like because my partner manages Black Eyed Peas, so he basically had the rehearsal was going to be our show. So like they had a
Uh-huh.
full LED system in the dome. We had everything set up, and then we just couldn't even use it. They wouldn't even let us do it. They said we can't do a show, we can't do nothing in there. So um and then actually I guess since the I don't know, this is what it seemed like or what they said to us, but the guy that books the dome says that the city owns part of the dome, but they don't own anything of the
Oh.
Queen Mary. So that so if we wanted to move everything to the Queen Mary, we can. And I was like, well, what's in the Queen Mary? Like, you know, I
Uh-huh.
didn't really know. I didn't really know what was in there. So he was like, let me show you. There's a ballroom in there. All right. So we walk in and I peek down and it's like a checkerboard floor. I was like, dude, this is like perfect.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm like, let's do this. So like literally like in 45 minutes, we moved all the speakers from the other place and moved them into there, set up the
Wow.
DJs, and then printed out like instructions on how to get into the boat, and yeah, it just went off.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy. And that's pretty like clutch to
And we
like
pretty
what
much
the
saved it. We saved it like dude, that was like our biggest one we had ever done. Like we finally eclipsed it this year, but like as far as like spending money, like
uh,
I think we spent like $150,000 for that event
oh
because it was
wow.
like a full on like music lineup. You know, we had like Blackalicious, we had Hubert, Big Daddy Kane, we had
Oh.
Jazzy Jeff, we had Black Eyed
Oh
Peas,
what?
we had Merce, we had Wild Child. Yeah, we had a big Slick Rick. Like we had a full on
Oh
lineup,
wow.
and yeah, like it almost
Dang.
it almost was a disaster. Like I probably that probably would have ended freestyle session, to be honest, if we didn't actually pull through with that one.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
we
yeah.
did it, so we're
That's
still here.
amazing. That's so dope. I remember seeing videos like checkered flooring and the old people around it. Like I was like, well, what venue is this? And then I heard about the boat and I was like, oh, that looks like the boat. And I don't remember what year, but I remember I was kind of young. I think I just like started breaking in
2004.
2004. Okay. Yeah, I
It's
think
2004.
I
Yeah,
started breaking in 2006. So I think at that time it was DVDs instead of VHS.
yeah,
But at
yeah.
that time. Yeah.
Yeah, that DVD was selling for a while. So
Cool.
yeah,
Cool. Um, what
yeah.
was like, I'm sure you had a team behind all that stuff. Like, so what was your vision from the first one? Like, I know you meant like you toured around and kind of like, looked around other places and adapting to evolve your jam, right? And so from beginning level to like, the level you have it now where it's like basically, the Super Bowl of breaking, right? And so the mindset and the vision through it, like, did you ever expect it to be like as big as it is today?
Never in my wildest dreams, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it just we did our event, and my goal always was just to make the next one better than the last. So two was
Oh,
better than
yes.
one. Well, one was mostly like California crews, and there was like one crew from Arizona, and then two we had crew from Arizona, crew from like Las Vegas maybe, and then
Okay.
we brought a crew from Japan, and then got international real fast, and then by three I brought out Storm, and then he enters with like Flying
Oh,
Tortillas, and that's what really like blew it up. And then four, we did our first tour. So we did San Diego, San Francisco, and Seattle.
oh,
And
dope,
then
dope.
five was the big one in LA because we basically moved to LA from San Diego because I felt like San Diego dancers were kind of sleeping on the event, and
Mm,
there was more dancers from LA. So I was like, why am I going to do in San Diego if people are sleeping on it here? I just might as well just take it to LA. And it's
yeah.
funny because more people from San Diego went to the one in LA. And then yeah, so five, then six happened. Six, five, and six, like a lot of the Texas guys came in and just ripped shop, and a lot of the bigger names started coming out. People from the East Coast, people from Miami, people from Seattle, and yeah, just and then eight was the boat. That one was crazy because we did a music festival, and then there was actually no nine.
Oh,
So
really?
people think there was a nine, but there was never a nine. So nine was basically 10, the 10-year anniversary. So like that's when we started doing the anniversaries instead of just calling them one, two. Because freestyle
Oh,
one was
right.
in 97, two was in 98, three was in 98, four was in 99, five was in 99. So I did five in the first 2 years. So, you know, it wasn't
Wow.
like, and then I started taking breaks. I started taking breaks because in 2000 I did Alpha Fame. 2002 I did Alpha Fame. So we did the whole tour and we just kind of like negated our events
Uh-huh.
just to do Alpha Fame, and then that kind of ran its course, and then I just kind of adapted that nationwide thing into freestyle session and kind of just blew it up around the world as well. So um,
Damn.
yeah, just
That's so dope.
like I said, man, the scene when the scene calls for it, you do it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
incredible because yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. You know how like so breaking skating in towards the Olympics, do you have any thoughts in between that?
No, I mean, I think it's a good thing. I'm all for it. I'm actually part of the judging for it. So like I
Oh, wow.
got my license, and I did like one event. I think I did the Pan American Championships,
Oh, okay.
and then I'm actually going out to Hong Kong. Going to Hong Kong in a couple weeks to do it was a Grand Prix or something in Hong Kong. So
Okay.
whoever wins that, I don't know if they're going to the Olympics or if they're just winning a berth to the OQS. So I don't know if you know the whole thing with that, but the OQS is like the top 20 B boys and B girls around the world, and then they're like vying for like the last 10 spots.
Oh, wow.
So it's a very pretty important event. So I'm doing that, and then there's also like a judging seminar like right after it. And then if I go to the judging seminar, I qualify to be an OQS judge or even Olympic judge if needed. You
Wow.
know, so not
Damn.
that I'm going to be one because I mean there's a lot of
Uh-huh.
B boys and B girls in the U.S. that are judges. So like I'm thinking more than likely there's probably going to be a U.S. judge, so it's going to be one of us. You know, it
Okay.
does happen.
Wow. That's gonna be
Yeah,
crazy. That they're gonna
it'd be kind of cool.
blood, sweat, and tears for the top 10 spots. Maybe, right?
Yeah,
We'll
no,
see.
it's
Definitely.
two events. It's two events. So whoever comes out with the most points in a row, pretty much. But there's like little stipulations, you know, like each country could only have two max. So if you're like the third person, kind of butt it out, you know. So
Okay.
like the U.S.
Okay.
is very
Yeah, yeah.
interesting. The U.S. is the U.S. is very interesting because Gravity and Jeffro have been above Victor like the whole entire time of the Olympic scoring, you know,
Uh-huh.
in the rankings. And then Victor won the world championship, so he got the Olympic berth, which now leaves only one more spot. So
Oh,
like
wow.
if Jeffro and Gravity do as well as they've been doing, then they'll be scoring pretty high and probably get the berth. But there's only room for one more, you know.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah, kind of a bummer. So
Yeah. They're
yeah,
both really dope too. They've been killing in the game lately too. So
yeah,
yeah, good luck to all of them and all the competitors that will be there competing.
yeah.
Cool. Cool. What inspire you to keep consistent with throwing jams? What drives you to
Uh,
keep doing it?
like kind of. I guess I mean, really, man. The first time I did an event, like I said, I went to practice, and literally, as cliche as it sounds, like I went to practice and I seen a bunch of kids that I never seen at practice practicing, and that just gave me
Yeah.
this feeling like, damn, I did something dope, you know, like it created a spark, you know. So like for me, it's always like the youth, you know, like I mean, what hip hop gave to me is just this. It's I can never thank hip hop enough, you know. All I can do is just
Yeah.
give back to the next generation and hope that they get to be inspired as much as I've been inspired, you know. So pretty much
Yeah.
that's the driving force, you know. And then like my network of people that I work with, like year in and year out, there are always people like, hey, what's up? So are we gonna do a one in Japan or one in Korea or one here or one there? I don't really like go out and solicit people to do them. Once in a while, I'll hit people up like, hey, let's do one over there, but very seldom,
Yeah.
like it's just mostly like my network of people just hitting me up and hitting me like, can we do a freestyle session out here? And it's like, all right, let's make it work, So
Dope.
yeah,
Dope.
that's how we do it.
Yeah. No,
A
that's really
little bit more
cool.
intricate than that, but yeah.
I was like, yeah, how is he doing all this, all this jams and all this stuff he's doing on top of that, work life. It's just seems a lot for, one person, right? Or for you to do it, but that's really dope. So
Yeah, I mean, really the ones that we do are the ones in the US. So all the other ones are pretty much like we work with promoters outside.
oh,
Like in
okay.
Korea, like it was Hong Ten and his crew did did the one out there, Flow XL.
Yeah.
So they did the one out there with this other promotion group, and then in Japan it was like Katsu and my boy from Top Nation, Machan, and then in Europe it was this girl Nicole and this guy Elvis, and they did a dance festival, and then yeah, it's just like I said, man, it's all networking. It's
For sure.
I
Yeah.
usually just work with people that I know, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's cool. That's cool. All right. We're gonna slowly wrap it up, but I got a little niche on this, so I call it a cipher round. So I was like, are you ready for it? So there's a couple questions, and just pretty much on top of your head, see how you feel, and the best answers you get then and there, right? And so I call it, let's hit it with the cipher round. And so, what's your favorite breaking move?
My favorite breaking move
Yeah.
that I do like head spins.
In general, like what you love, like for me, I love flares, even though like I'm not the best at flares, but seeing it just like, oh yeah, yeah, flares are cool. But
Yeah, flares were fun, but like I can still head spin, so I like head spins.
oh yeah, yeah. Cool, cool, cool. How about your favorite music artist? Can be anything. For me, I love Linkin Park, and I wish that
Yeah,
they're still around and doing things, unfortunately. But yeah, do you have a favorite artist or bands or musician?
man, I'm all over the place with music. I don't know, man.
We
I
can come
don't know
back
what.
to it, or we skip it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just revert to like what got me into hip hop, which is Run DMC.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't really listen to it that much anymore, but every time I listen to a Run DMC track, it just kind of takes me back to the beginning. Just
Yeah.
kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Run DMC is dope. Is dope. They couple like an 80s performance a couple months ago with the Run DMC song. So
Uh,
like, yeah. Do you have a favorite book?
a book. I don't never really read that much, but
Yeah.
the one that helped me the most with business and everything was Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty
Um,
popular one. I
I,
actually read that in like 2000 or 99 or something like that. So
oh,
it's super long.
wow. Yeah.
It's funny because like I don't really read books, but like that book, like I couldn't put it down. Like it kind of like put a stamp on everything I was doing in my life at that point, and I was like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing exactly what I need to be doing right now. It just kind of like
So
reiterated everything that I was doing. So it was cool.
yeah, yeah, I love it, man. Love it. And I've
Yeah.
actually finished that book last year, and a lot of things changed
Nice.
in my mind perspectively. So that's an amazing
Yeah.
book. Shout out to Robert Kawasaki.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you like pineapples on your pizza?
Pineapples?
Yeah.
No, I don't like pineapples on my pizza.
Some people do, some people don't. So
Yeah.
if you can enter a battle with anybody on a 2 versus 2, who would that be?
Mm, at right now or like
Yeah, just right
historically.
now or whoever, you'd be like, oh, that would be, I would love to like enter a jam with this guy or girl, B boy, B girl.
I'd probably just enter with Victor and let him take all the rounds.
There you go. That's dope. For
But
sure.
back in the day, it'll probably be Reveal. Like we've rented a couple
Oh,
bands
yeah, yeah.
together, so like he was always fun to break with. Or
Cool.
Iron Monkey. Iron Monkey was
Oh,
always fun to battle with. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. I wish the throwback. Like for me, it's like
Yeah.
I'm growing up and I didn't get to see during those prime times, but videos and stuff, I still see those and
Yeah.
stuff. So it's really dope.
That's what's
Dope.
up.
Cool. Cool. And everybody that's listening to this, I want to give a huge thanks to CrosOne for what you have done. Without your vision or hard work or dedication, Freestyle Session wouldn't have been here today, or at least could have been something else. Who knows, right? And so thank you. And for you guys listening, show them some love, some gratitude, give them a follow, comment below, just say thank you. Thank you, CrosOne.
Yeah,
Do you
appreciate you,
have
man. Thank you.
any last words or takeaways for the viewers or audience through your, before we get off?
Uh, just everybody come check out the next year's edition, like, and then also check out the Pro Breaking Tour. We'll start back up next year. Next year should be a pretty interesting year with the Olympics coming into the fold, and I think it's the 10-year anniversary of the Pro Breaking Tour, and then it's the 27th year anniversary of Freestyle Session. So I just feel like if there's a brand that you could trust, it'd be those. Like
Okay.
I feel like anything else, like you'd be kind of like grabbing at the sky and you don't know what you're gonna get. But like with these, like they have history, you know that it's gonna be what it is, with a couple surprises in the mix. And
Uh,
yeah, just follow us and join us for the ride because it's gonna be fun.
yeah, dope, dope. Hey, thank you, CrosOne, once again.
Yeah,
Thank you for taking your time. It was such a blessing to have you on.
yeah, no
If
problem.
you guys find this episode valuable, hit that like button, subscribe, and follow for more. Peace.
Peace.
A more established b-boy was a guy named Jim. He repped the crew called Jive Turkey. He's not really active anymore, but he was one of the guys who was doing a lot of like style with a bench or press, like a press sit. He was one of those guys. He was really innovative, one of the pioneers in that style. So what he passed on to me from practicing with him, and we became, friends, is like you got to be original. Like whatever you do, you got to be original.